All right, so it's been a couple days since we last saw you guys. And since then, we have installed all the Regal Ideas rail posts. Now we had to do those a special way because they are on a waterproof bladder. So we siliconed all the fasteners. We put a special gasket on the bottom of the posts. That's done. We got all the rails in, we got the pickets in. We put a light kit on the underside of the top rail so it'll light up blue, white, and amber. And that's pretty much all complete except for the base plate caps. We don't need to get those on for final inspection. We're just trying to get everything we can done for final. So what we're doing next is we're going to work on the staircase. But since all the rail's complete and we still have this one area that needs to access to the ground, we're gonna work on that and try to get that buttoned up by Friday so we can call for a final. So that's what's on our agenda for today. Okay, so we have these stair stringers cut out. I call them stair jacks, but everybody looks at me like I'm weird or crazy or something. So we'll call them stringers for everybody else that has OCD. So these stringers are cut out to a certain height and a certain depth. And the reason we cut them this way is the depth is because we're gonna put 2 deck boards on here plus a gap. Plus I'll leave a 1/4 inch gap to the back in case I have to adjust for any depth issue. And then the height, we actually took an elevation shot of where our staircase is gonna land in the dirt or in the ground, all the way up to where the top of the deck is. And I calculated out how many rises I wanted, and that came out to a 7 1/8 inch rise. I would have done one less, but it came at 7 5/8, and I didn't want a 7 5/8 rise. It's a little steep. So we added one extra step into our equation, and that brought it down to a 7 1/8 inch rise, which is great. That's a more comfortable way to go up and down the stairs. So now that we have all of the stair stringers cut out and treated, we're gonna screw a few plates to these to get them all in sync. Then we'll raise it up into place, attach it to the deck, dig some footings, pour some concrete, get this thing locked in, and then we'll finish the framing. We're gonna put a solid 2x8 in the front of each rise of the staircase. What that does is it really stiffens things up nicely, for one. And the other reason I like to do that is because when you're coming down the set of stairs, most of the weight is brunt right here on this nose. So if we have a solid member going across here like so, it really takes the brunt of the weight instead of the deck board. That keeps us from having to put in quite as many stringers as we would on, say, any particular staircase that didn't have that front framing spot, okay? So that's what's next, that's what's on the docket, and we're cutting those up right now. All right, so what I just did was I'm installing some extra support for our staircase to rest up against and that we can attach some metal brackets to. We're gonna go back and add some more steel to these as well, but I'm just using some 3.5 inch construction screws to get them placed and put into the proper position. And then we'll come back and drop in a couple of ML24Zs and maybe a LUS26Z joist hanger against the beam, just to hold all that stuff in place for our final inspection. The building inspector is going to want to see a positive connection, and usually using some kind of a construction screw isn't going to do it everything that you need it to do. Carbon screws have a tendency to snap and break in seismic events, so we have to make sure we use structural fasteners as well to attach the staircase and the staircase framing to the deck. So that's what we're doing right now. But right now I'm just getting the boards put in place, put them where I want them, and then we'll go back, add the hardware, and then put in the structural screws as well. And then we're ready to hang our staircase, which is the next step. up first. Now drag. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2. Okay, we must be hitting the. No, we're not. Okay, we gotta go a little higher. Hold on. Let me know when you got a little something on it. Okay. Okay, hang tight. All right, so we have our staircase temporarily in place. We have it clamped up. It's level, plumb, everything we want on the top end. So I'm going to take some 5-inch Fasten Master ledger locks, and I'm going to lock this thing in 3 different locations. I'm actually going to be attaching to this beam right here, and then I'm going to be attaching through 2 sets of plates and into a 4x6 that we previously installed in the deck. So we just realized we're going to do a video eventually on how to prepare your deck to attach a staircase to it. But hopefully this helps somebody as far as the actual physical attachment. So now that we have that done, we'll do that. And then we'll still probably add a piece of steel here and there just to make sure that the building inspector's happy with our attachments. So, but here we go. We're gonna get that done. And then we will start working on the lower set of the staircase frame. All right, so we have our staircase locked in at the top. It's exactly where we want it. We have taken a Stabila plate level and we hung it from the side of the deck down so we could square up this staircase to the deck. Now we know exactly where the bottom needs to be located. Now we're gonna dig a couple holes and pour some concrete and lock the bottom of the staircase in place. Once that's done, then we'll actually frame in another section with a couple footing blocks that we have here for here and there. We'll put those in, and then the staircase will be sturdy. Then we can finish putting all these plates on, and then basically our staircase will be framed. We'll G-tape it, and then we'll be ready to start putting up some side fascia and eventually some treads. Guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. That's all we have time for today. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. And I'm going to sit here and finish G-taping these posts because we're putting them in the ground for the bottom of our staircase. So come back and visit us again and see the progress we make on this staircase. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.